In the past few decades, we've seen technology that once seemed like it could only exist in the world of science fiction become readily available consumer technology. Cartoon detective Dick Tracy would have no problem using the Apple Watch. Video-based communication is common, and increasingly, so are custom-purpose robots for use in our homes. Speaking of custom use, despite warnings from dystopian epics, humans still seem to insist there is a role for robots when it comes to expressing intimacy. It's unlikely we'll see transporter technology within our lifetimes. The laws of physics simply defy the whole possibility of it. Much more likely, we will see the second least likely technology shown on Star Trek, the holodeck experience. Immersive virtual experiences are right on the verge of becoming commonplace in our culture, and some of the biggest names in technology are getting behind it. Apple is playing up the hardware in its non-computer iPad and iPad Pro by using augmented reality apps. They are also targeting gamers who tend to be more technologically savvy and more keen on hardware upgrades than the average user. But this is about more than just playing games. Ford Motors is using Microsoft's HoloLens technology to help it in its car design process.
The HoloLens helps me see 3D designs full scale on top of production vehicles.
Adobe's Project Aero promises to unite all the company's creative software into one unified workflow that will allow creators to start anywhere and create interactive virtual displays in any space. But what if you could get away from having to carry a device in your pocket or in your backpack to enjoy these interactive experiences? What if you could use something more subtle?
What if smart glasses didn't make you look like a techno cyborg jerk? That's exactly what Intel is making.
But just because you can,
doesn't mean you should.
so why?
Yes, I think BK's been quoted to say data is the new oil. I think other people say somewhat similar things. The point is, you have to consume that data somehow. So not only do we want to manage the data and help you compute in the data center with Intel servers and all that other stuff, we also want to be part of presenting that data to you in a way that you can consume. So that's what we do.
Right, so I just want to be clear, when you say that Intel thinks of data like oil, this thing isn't about like collecting a whole bunch of biometrics from it,
No.
right? It's about taking all the data. Intel wants to be part of the story of, there's a million pieces of data that might be useful to me, and Intel wants to be in that flow of the data in a way that it hasn't been before.
It's really an integrated ecosystem company, if you think about it, between phones and iPads and all of the hardware. But then the other piece that we really like about it has been the services side.
Yes.
So services being about 10-11% of sales, but it's a piece that's growing in really high double-digit rates, very, very nice double-digit rate.
So these investments in the future aren't really about the gadgets, the tech, the fun and games that are to be had. They're about capitalizing on big data to find ways to undergird current and future financial situations. These media companies will continue to empower and motivate consumers to generate mass quantities of data. Data they hope to have a hand in controlling from its point of creation, through its development, onto its distribution and ultimate storage. As these companies unify what had been multiple tasks into concentrated workflows, it would benefit futurists to develop new content creation skills, to learn new programming languages, to become familiar with new hardware types, and to become knowledgeable about data storage schemes. Legacy media companies like the New York Times will be challenged to find new ways to deploy the new technology, such as the newspaper's recent partnering with supermodel Ashley Graham to provide an immersive experience for users of the newspaper's mobile app. And entertainment companies that rely on television ratings or in-person attendance for part of their revenues will find it necessary to offset falling subscriber bases and in-person attendance by partnering with technology partners and finding ways to offer augmented and virtual experiences for home viewers, and even for those who would actually be there in attendance and just want to supplement what they can already see with their own eyes.
How into this moment can you and I actually get?
With today's technology leaders invested, who knows what the future holds as far as augmented and virtual reality? But the research could be fun.